it's Valerie of My Stitch and Dollyverse. In today's video, we're going to be talking about December and some Dolly plans and some Dolly news. So let's go. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Valerie. This is My Stitch and Dollyverse, where we sew for our dolls, we talk doll fashion, and all about all kinds of dolls. So make sure to subscribe and stick around. And this month we're going to be talking about, of course, the holidays, sewing for the holidays for your dolls, and fashion for your dolls, and little accessories that you can add to them for your doll display. I also have a new little tiny tree up there with some ILY dolls posed around it. There were some holiday dolls that came out, so I want to show you my display, as well as talk about the next year and what we're going to be sewing over here on my channel. Yeah, all the things. So make sure to stick around and we will get right to it. Okay. We're a few days later, and I'm just sitting down now to talk to you guys about December and what I have planned for my channel. I'm really excited about it, actually. I gotta take some coffee drinks. For December, I have some garments that I am both making and just mending. I have some vintage and newer holiday garments that I wanted to redress some of my dolls in, but they needed some mending. At the end of this video, make sure you keep watching. I will show you how I mended these garments, but first I'll show you which ones they are. I have this really cute 60s. Yeah, isn't that the cutest thing? So I get some of my garments from friends of mine that I ask for. I needs mending garments, so I can show you guys how I sew them and how I fix them. This one has a lot of tinsel that was just kind of loose, and it's forever fraying, unfortunately. So I'm handling it now, but I try not to handle it too much. I have that one. And then also later this month, I will show you video of the styling and the finishing and who's wearing it. Make sure to subscribe and stick around and watch all my videos this month. I also have this very pretty garment, and it has a tag in it, Ginger. So it's a vintage garment, obviously, for Ginger, the doll Ginger, but it fits my modern Barbies. There is some mending here. The lace on the bottom is coming off, so you can see some of it is got some tear and wear to it. I did sew some of it. I'll show you that one. My last one is actually, I get a lot of questions about these, but they are ornaments for your tree, and they come on a little hanger. It's so cute. I have several of these. You can get them at Target, and I mean, all the places have them. So all I did was take off the hanger, and they are functional. They have, I mean, they're real sweaters, real, and they fit Barbie. But this one had a hole in it, and I fixed it, and I styled it for one of my modern Barbies. So a fun way to, you know, redress your dolls and put them on display for the holidays. Just want to add a little bit of, you know, extra decor. You can always just redress your dolls. I also have some projects this month on upcycling some garments into little hats. I have these pants. This is kind of funny. They're my son's pants, but our puppy ripped a big hole in them. I saw this cuff, and I actually cut the other side of it and made a little hat, a little beanie hat with a pom-pom on it for my beautiful smart doll back here. That's a project. And my other project is aprons. So for the holidays, have a little holiday apron with really cute tinsel trim. I'll show you what I have and what I'm thinking. And I'm making it for my smart doll, although all of these projects can obviously be done for any size doll. You just have to upsize the pattern or downsize the pattern. I'll show you what fabrics I have. Here's the beginner. This is what I had already, and actually this fits her, but I wanted it to be a little bit more festive. So I'm using this as the pattern, and I have all these fabrics. These fabrics I got secondhand from my wonderful friend, Sarah, and they're just like, you know, calico prints and floral prints and the little hearts. I have those to choose from, and then I have trims. Of course, this tinsel looks so pretty, right? Since she's got a Victorian style dress on, I thought that those colors would look cute as a apron, a holiday apron. And of course I have lots of little accessories of cookie plates and hot cocoa and all of that too. And this little Santa I just got, he's really cute. I have several of those. So even having your dolls just holding little things like that, like ornaments. So that dress actually came from a porcelain doll from the thrift store, which is an amazing place that you can find really cute garments for your other dolls. For next year, I have lots of plans for each month has a theme. January is just learning how to sew, and I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you would like to learn or see me create. If you want to learn hand stitches, which I think is really a valuable skill. Whether or not you sew on the machine, hand sewing is something that you should also know. So I'll be showing you all the hand stitches that I usually use for my dolls. Also, just talk about machine sewing as well, if you're interested in that, pattern making, draping, fitting. So now let's go and mend those garments for my Barbies. I will show you some hand stitching there. So here are some of the tools that I use when I am hand sewing. I love to use Gooderman's, I think that's how you pronounce it, thread, polyester, thread. And then this is the white that I had on a bobbin, so I just took it out. I love my pin cushion. I have pins and needles and a little pair of snips for snipping threads, and then of course my scissors. And these are the two garments. I also have this garment, which the armhole is needing some mending. I'm trimming off some of that extra tinsel, being careful not to pull out more because it is forever fraying. But to trim off some of it, you can also use probably some fray check and maybe stop some of it from getting too bad, but it is tinsel. It is what it is. So when I cut my thread, I hide it in between my fingers and push it through. And I do two at the same time so that we get a loop at the end. And there's another reason too, which I'll show you in a little bit. So of course you got to turn the garment inside out, line up all the seam allowances, and take a little bite of fabric, just a little one. So, and then sew through the loop, and that's how you tie it off in the beginning. And that way it stops, having too much bulk under the arm. So I do a back stitch. It's hard to see with the tinsel, but I just go back and I meet that last stitch where it came out, keeping my stitches fairly small because it is a Barbie garment. The stitches need to be tight enough to have no gaps when you're sewing. So I'll just show you the back stitch over and over again. If you can see where I'm meeting that last thread, I'm coming out the other side in these equal little bite-sized pieces. And at the end, I sew and leave a little loop and tie it off. I do that twice, and then I sew it into the garment to kind of hide the tail and snip it off. So you can see here the finished piece, right side out. The stitches are tight enough. And yeah, let's move on to the next. So this is my little sweater that's an ornament. I do the same thing. Cut a long enough piece of thread, hide the two ends in my fingers and push it through. Since that needle eye is so tiny, it's hard to thread without doing that little trick. So I'm turning the garment right side out. There's a little hole also in the armhole. Same thing with sewing anything stretchy like a sweater. You do have to be careful not to stretch it while you're sewing. Try to keep it still the same size that it originally is because it's easy to stretch while you're sewing. I'm also taking little bites and doing a back stitch. Really tight stitches. The doll doesn't need it to stretch, obviously. She's just going to be standing there wearing it. So yeah, same thing, back stitch. And then at the end, take a little bite, go through the loop, and you can do that twice or once. I did it for this one. Cut the tail. So cute. Turn it right side out. Make sure you got all of the hole that needed to be mended. Press out the seam, and there you go. Cute. Good as new. So we're going to move on to the dress now, and the dress has many spots where the lace was coming off. So I'm going to use that red thread, and this time I'm going to tie a knot because I still had it left, and I'm showing you how I do this. This is a quick dressmaker's tip or trick. And you sew it to the end, keeping that taut, and there you go. It's done on theater and the backstage when you have to tie a knot and hand sew stuff really quickly. So that was a trick that I learned. So this does have a hem. I'm hiding the knot in the seam allowance I'm showing there. So this does have a hem, and I'm going through only the hem on the wrong side of the dress, on the inside of the dress, so that it will not show on the right side. I don't want that. So I'm doing it very carefully. Normally I would do a running stitch, which is what I'm showing you here. But because it's very tricky with the other side of the garment not catching the front of it, see, I'm showing you it's not there. I have to take just one bite at a time. I'm just feeling it with my finger on the other side. And this is a great way to practice your stitches and make them evenly, little bites, make them straight. And I can tell I got one little stitch that was too long there, but I just kept going. So, over time you get better and better at doing that, and you can see no stitches on that side. So I keep checking to make sure that I didn't. But you can see here I did. I got a little bit on the right side, and I don't want that. So here's why it's good to thread your needle like that. You can take it right out and take out that last stitch, or 2 stitches is what I took out, and start again and rethread it there. So that's why I love to do that stitch in particular and threading my needle like that. So I'm going on the other side of that hem, and I'm hiding my knot. I'm trying to show you, taking a little bite but just behind that hem, so you won't be able to see the knot. I'm always wanting to try to hide it because it just makes the garment look nicer. When I worked in theater, it was always, the outside must look as beautiful as the inside. So it was, drilled into me, and I still try to keep that up. So yeah, so cute. There it is. And here's my ILY dolls and my little tree, and yes, my Monster High Nightmare Before Christmas dolls. I love these ILY dolls. They were a set that I got at the Disney store when we went to Disney World. You can get them online. They're just the cutest things. The tree is from the Target dollar section, and the little Nightmare Before Christmas is from Walmart. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and stick around for all the fun that's coming up this month and next year.